Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Sidestage with Soph, the show that takes you behind the safety curtain, behind the scenes, showing you what it really takes to get a show up on its feet. From cuts to costume fittings, sits probe to star ratings, and tech to fine tuning, we will discuss it all. Our guest this episode is someone who can say, if I had a nickel every time I was in a show that featured bohemians, I'd have two nickels, which is funny, but it's weird that it happened twice. I've also had the pleasure of watching him in the world tour of Moulin Rouge as Baby Doll while the show was here in Dublin. So join me in introducing Dominic Booth to Side Stage with Soph.
Hello.
Hello, Dominic. Thank you so much for being here, especially in what must be a quite chaotic week because you are finishing being at the windmill this week.
I am indeedy. Yeah, it's the last week.
How does it feel?
Um, crazy. Slightly, yeah. Going into unemployment is like, wow, we're
Yeah,
back to square one. But no, it's great. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun week. We've got lots of exciting things planned, like outside of the show. So
okay, Slay.
it's just going to be chaos.
Do you plan on doing a mock-up?
Neither confirm nor deny.
That's fair. That's so fair.
Read
I
between the
love
lines.
I love a mock-up. I cannot lie. I think they're one of the best inventions ever, especially if you're someone who's seen a show like a few times and then you can know what's right. It's fun.
But so, like, we didn't really have one on Rock You. We
Oh,
tried.
okay.
We did like one. We did like one like prank on someone, and as soon as we came off stage, the stage manager came backstage and was like, "It stops now." We were like, okay. He was like, "Whatever else you've got planned, it stops now." And we were like,
Oh, party pooper.
yeah, but then he was like, the producers are not happy. And we were like, oh. But then when we went to the rap party after, the producers were like, where was all the fun? Like, we expected more. And I was like,
Great, thanks. Yeah.
yeah.
Because I remember I was at the Share Show like mock-up and like literally from the second it opened, their DSM Hannah came out and was like in the opening scene and we were like dying. Sidetracked,
Yeah.
we digress. So the first question is one I will be asking everyone. It just is what is the most important part of your, say, pre-show routine that you feel like, other than obviously warm up, hydration, like the obvious bits? Is there something personally you do or anything?
Oh, I've never been asked that before, actually. Um, for me, I guess it's taking the time to listen. Even if the show requires no makeup, I'm going out there with a beat face. I'm not going
Same.
out. No, the face will be beat. Um, so I guess for me, it's taking the time to sit down, put my little light on,
Mm-hmm.
do my face, do my hair. The last thing that I will always do before leaving the dressing room is brush my teeth,
Mm-hmm.
uh, give myself a quick
Oh
show
yes.
scent. Um, and then depending on who I'm with, so like for example, in Rouge, because when I'm ensemble, I'm one of the last ones to leave the dressing room
Right, yeah.
because my pre-show doesn't start until quite late. So it's usually just me and Barry that are left in the dressing room. So I'll brush my teeth, give myself a quick spritz, I'll turn my light off, I'll turn around to Barry, we'll have a quick 2 minute like gossip, and I'm like, see you out there. Um, and then yeah, like kind of backstage, there's two different versions. So when I'm my ensemble track, I will always collect my money that I give to
Oh,
H1.
okay.
And then Lucy, our ASM, will go, have you got your sweet dollar money cash? And I'll say yes. And then she'll tick me off. Um, I used to forget my money in rehearsals all the time. I've never forgotten it on stage. So,
Okay. Oh,
um,
would.
and then I'll stand in the wings, usually with Kamau and Tosca. And then we'll wait for Lucia to come off from pre-show, and she'll go, have a good show, and we'll go, have a good show.
I
And it
love it.
has to be that like that specific
Yeah,
phrasing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then yeah, my 6 minutes is on, so then I walk out. If I am on for Baby Doll, I am usually ready quite early.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do all the same things. And then I will go up, put my heels on first because I don't like bending down in a corset. Put my
Oh,
heels on
fair.
first, put my corset on, go and get my headpiece on. I hate it.
Is
Go
it
and get my
heavy?
headpiece on. The
Yeah,
It's heavy.
it looks heavy.
That's so insider. We've actually had three now. So the first one we had myself and Scott shared because Lucia
Okay.
hadn't debuted at that point, and it was so heavy, like could not move my neck, like,
No.
and I think I forgot one time in full company bow at the end of the show, and I fully went to bow, and my wig just started lifting at the back, and I was like, oh no. So then we got a new one made, and it's still heavy. And then we got another one made. But Scott wears that one by himself, and I wear the second one that we had. It's
Okay.
heavy, but it's not as heavy as the first. And I actually prefer mine to Scott's new one because Scott's goes like straight out and they're quite bouncy, whereas mine like kind of looks like a love heart.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I'll get my headpiece put on, and then all four of us will usually stand in whatever amalgamation of Lady M's it is. We'll all stand in the wing waiting for clearance. Curtain comes down. We'll get on the platform. The ASMs will come and adjust the other Lady M's skirts. I just have the little horsehair thing, so I don't really have anything. And then no matter what amalgamation of Lady M's it is, we stand in the curtain, we hold hands like this, and we go, give each other a squeeze. And
Oh.
then, depending on who it is that's Christian, because we can't see anything. There's obviously no
Okay.
screen
Yeah,
back
yeah.
there. We don't. So all we know is like, if there's a clap for swords, because sometimes there isn't. Yeah, I know. I'm like, for all you know, they've just followed a 12-inch blade.
They've cut their vocal
Um,
cords off.
yeah, but sometimes there isn't a clap, so we know when swords are finished. If it's Nate, who's Christian, he's usually quite quick at going
Okay.
across. If it's Josh likes to take a little pause in the middle and like look at the audience and then carry on.
Mm-hmm.
So what we've started doing recently is we'll be stood there and we'll be like, 3, 2, 1, 1, and then it'll go. So yeah, that's usually what I do. My little rituals. I didn't really have any on Rock You, I don't think.
That's a mental show. We will rock
Rock
you.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my first time swinging as well.
Fun stuff. I just finished doing mic dressing for like a local secondary school on that show, and the music is insane.
Oh, the music's
Like,
incredible.
while you mentioned Rocky as well, I was going to ask a question about you being a swing.
Mhm.
This is something I've wanted to know for like literally ages, but I don't think I've ever had the right person to ask. Is when you are a swing, like in rehearsals, are you allowed to step in at any point and like replace an ensemble member just to learn a track, or do you have to stay, say, on the side and then just learn the rest in, say, a cover run or something? You know, like to place yourself in it and just learn it. I don't know, get more in your head, or
So with Rock You, it was a little bit different for me because I was an on-stage swing. But I was only in, as that track, I was only in the opening and the end.
yeah.
So I had to learn my own track for Gaga and like We Are the Champions onwards.
Yeah.
Whilst having to like simultaneously learn
Other people's bits
other
of the
people's.
number.
With Rock You, I was quite lucky, not for him really, but I think he was ill. I think he got COVID
Oh,
during rehearsals. So I actually learned a lot of one of my priority tracks.
oh,
I
okay.
don't know if that's something else that you know as well. So usually when you're a swing, yes, you cover everyone, but you will get given like, depending on how big the cast is, you'll get given priority tracks that you should focus on first. So my priorities on Rock You were alternate Galileo because he had shows pretty much straight away.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had him as a priority, and I had Joseph Connor as a priority, and I think Ed, who was cover Brit. So what would happen in rehearsals is when I wasn't in the number, I would just be like either at the side, learning, in the back, writing, drawing. And then it wasn't really until someone was ill or they were off or they were injured that you would then step in.
Right.
Which I didn't know any different because I'd never swung before, so I didn't know any different. Because again, being a swing is not something that they teach at drama school, which I think is ridiculous. So I didn't know any different. But then when we were in the process for Rouge, our swings here, they were constantly up, moving, like they were learning choreo at the back, they were learning it behind us, they were constantly writing, drawing, videoing, everything. And they didn't get their priorities until quite late in the process, because there was a lot of tracks changed. And but what they did do was in cover rehearsals, so say if like the Lady M covers had like a quick 1 hour rehearsal at the end of the day, the swings would then pick a track, and they would do, say if we did the opening, they would pick a track and they would do that while we were doing our cover rehearsal. So they kind of got opportunity to explore in rehearsals.
Get ahead of it,
yeah. If someone like had a doctor's appointment or a dentist appointment, because we did have a lot of that, or I think, I had a week of being baby doll in rehearsals as well. So Nathan then did me for like a week in rehearsals. So like,
right, yeah.
There's different like ways of getting around it, but it usually is that you're in a corner learning it by yourself, which I vividly remember because there was only, so here we've got 4 flats, 4 heels. We've got here. On Rock You, we only had 2 male swings and 2 female swings. 2 of us were off, 2 of us were on. And my opposite, Jacob, who's actually in Rouge.
Yes.
He was resident choreographer, basically directing as well, dance captain and swing. So he had a lot going on. So like in tech, I just remember him not being really with the swings because he was obviously, you know, doing his other jobs, which is like great. And I remember being in Portsmouth, which was our opening venue. We were teching the show. Ben Elton was sat in front of me. And I just remember going into like a bar, like off to the side, like in the stalls behind a curtain and sobbing. And the assistant dance captain came in and she was like, "You okay?" I was like, "I can't do this." I was like, "This is a mistake. I can't do this." I was like, "I need to go." Like, and I don't know when something like switched in my brain, but like you're either a swing or you're not. Like you can do as many classes as you want. You're either a swing or you're not. Some people just have that brain and some people just do not. And I think discovering for me that I did have that brain was like a massive shock. I was like, oh, I can actually do this. Like it got to the point on Rocky where I just wouldn't look at my maps anymore and I wouldn't look at my swing stuff. I just knew.
Yeah. Because I think it was, is it Alicia Belgrade? Like she just did panto in the middle of doing Friends, and like their princess or something. No, she was the princess, but one of their ensemble members were down. So she was like, "Can I just swing in?" So she swung in, even though she was panto princess. She just swung into some of the dance numbers. She's like, "I need to be a swing again." I was, the brain just boggles.
So this is my first time in a musical theatre show being ensemble, like an on stage every single day. And I used to hate being a swing, even though I think I had 2 standby shows on Rock You and only one of them stayed as a standby.
Yeah.
The other one I went on. And I used to hate being a swing and I'm like, I just want to be on stage every single night. And now I'm on the flip side of it. I'm like, really miss swinging actually.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's tricky. Like there was one time on Rocky we had a lot of people off. Like Jacob was he'd got NAs. Our assistant dance captain had just had surgery.
Oh,
And we got 2 new swings like halfway through the contract because COVID and
okay, yeah.
shenanigans, but they didn't know the show yet. So they were like still watching the show. And then my opposite, Ruby, she fell off a chair in Cardiff on stage and like broke up her ankle.
Oh,
So I was literally the only swing in the building for like 2 weeks. And we had a lot of people off because this was 2022, so like COVID was still around.
yeah, still,
We had a lot of people off, and I remember in Heartbreak, which will mean nothing to people that don't know the show, but Heartbreak 1, when we introduced like all the characters, and I was everyone other than Tina Turner. I was
Yes, of
everyone.
course.
I was Madonna. I was Johnny Rotten. I was AC/DC. I was
Were you David Bowie then as well? Wasn't that your normal?
David. So here's the thing: they gave me the David Bowie costume, but someone else was David Bowie.
Oh, right, okay.
But I was David Bowie. And in fact, I picked that costume, which never happens. But I was one of the first people, because again, I was a swing. I was one of the first people to go into wardrobe for a costume fitting in rehearsals. And kind of full circle, because Rocky was the first West End show that I saw.
Oh.
And I always wanted to be the Union Jack.
Okay.
I don't know if I would pick that now. But I
Keep
always
it
wanted to be
lighthearted.
the
Let's
Union
keep it
Jack.
lighthearted.
Always wanted to be the Union Jack. So I was like, I want that one. And they were like, okay, let's put it on you. So then they put it on me and they were like, oh, we actually really like it. They're like, okay, go see if the wig fits. And I was like, okay. So it was either I was going to have the David Bowie wig or Adam Ant, which was like a big black, like spiky.
Oh, okay.
But that wig didn't fit me. Thank goodness. So yeah, I was everyone in Heartbreak.
Did you just move around or just speak?
Whoever had the most lines, I would predominantly, because it got to the point where like I was doing this quite often.
Yeah.
And I sat down with Jacob and I was like, look, I'm trying to do everything. I'm getting in people's way. Like, what is the solution? He said, okay, whichever tracks you're doing, whichever one has the most lines, do that blocking.
Right, okay.
But like, so I would just sat on the bar and I would be like, AC/DC, Johnny Rotten, David Bowie, woo, like Madonna. Like I did do Madonna one day and I shouldn't have done because I wasn't a cross swing, which a cross swing is like either male or female presenting, but they cover both.
Oh, okay, yeah,
tracks.
Yeah.
I wasn't a cross swing, so technically the company cannot ask me to do that without. But I did because I'm a kind person. Aww. And Ian, who was our Galileo, lovely, lovely Ian McIntosh, he had no idea that I was going to be Madonna.
Oh.
So imagine David Bowie walking up to, and I went to the wall, like grabbed, I was like, I'm Madonna and I'm a virgin. Yeah. Like, and he was literally on stage like,
gagged.
So, yeah, yeah. And also, listen, a princess track, you get bored. So, like, it's no surprise to me that Alicia wanted to do something a little bit different. Like, I know we've got a couple of princess tracks in Rouge. You'll know which ones they are, but I mean, mine is also a little bit of a princess track. I do a lot more than 9 and 10, F9 and 10, but I kind of bridge the gap because I do diamonds and stuff like that. But I think if I didn't have my cover, I would have not been fulfilled. I need to be
Moving. Yeah,
doing
let's go.
something, or like something different. So yeah, I do enjoy that side of being a swing, but it's a lot. It's a lot of stress.
Kind of like being a swing, you were also dance captain upon Royal Caribbean.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask, I suppose it's kind of similar to the previous question, but like again with the choreography, do you get like do dance captains learn that ahead of time, or do they just learn it with everyone else? Because you know the way obviously they have to be the people that kind of like keep the choreography in check, as especially when you're on like tour and stuff. Or
So, do you want the honest answer?
yeah.
Specifically regarding my experience. Um, so with Royal, I'd already done one contract with them.
Mm-hmm.
And they offered me another contract. I said no.
Okay.
And then they offered me another one, and I was like, more money.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, okay. I said, and I want dance captain. And they said, there's someone else going for it, so we can't just offer it to you.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm happy to interview, because there was another dancer who had done contracts before as well. And I think she was on one mod. I actually knew who it was. She was on my ship at the time. We found out we were doing it. Yeah. She was my head of lighting's fiance.
Okay.
So she came and visit, and we spoke about doing the next ship together. So I knew that she was going to go for it. My process with Royal, I don't want to get depressing, but anyway, I lost a very, very dear friend while I was on board. He was on another ship. He went overboard, was, never found. And I noticed that there was just a real lack of support on board and within the company. So I didn't really want to go for dance capting for career purposes. It was never about that for me. I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash, but anyone can stand at the front and say this is on 5 and that's on 8 and this is 8 and you're on 2 and you're on 7. Anyone can do that, especially with Royal as well, because they have every single number in a booklet that's like print, like every single position change is printed out in a booklet.
Yeah.
So you have it there with you. So when I interviewed for DC, they asked why I wanted to be dance captain, and I said, this was what's happened, and they knew that as well. I said, this was happened. I want to be in a position where if someone is struggling, I can support them. I can be there for them. I don't want anyone to experience what my friend went through, blah, 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 blah. And I think that kind of sealed the deal for them. And I was given DC by the office, by the higher ups, by the casting team. Okay. Now, she wasn't the choreographer of the show. She was just the director who was teaching it. So Royal have different directors that know the show. Okay. And they will reel them in and be like, oh, are you free to teach this show? And they will come in and teach specific ships.
Okay.
My director, I had a lovely assistant, Tori Torello. Love her. She's great. Still love her to this day. She was learning how to teach the shows. She was great. The actual director did not like me. She did not want me to be dance captain. She made it very, very clear. So when it came to learning choreography, I would learn the bits that I did. Okay. And so when I was in the room, I could see what everyone else was doing. But I remember specifically in our musical show, we had a Dream Girls section that was just the girls. And she wouldn't let me stay in the room. Yeah, she wouldn't let me stay in the room and learn it. She wanted she wanted my friend's fiance to be the DC. So when it got announced that I was going to be dance captain, she actually came into warm up, took the girl outside, spoke to her outside, and then came in and didn't even address that I was DC. They all got an email saying that I was their dance captain, and that's how it got announced. But yes, typically you don't learn things before for Royal. Yeah. You will learn it in the room, video it, and then it's your job to then maintain it from that point on. Yeah. I know that was the same process that happened on Rouge. That was the same process that happened on Rock You, but obviously it was a little bit different because Jacob was also, you know, associate choreographer. I know there are some shows that will, you know, depending on relationships between choreographer and who the dance captain is, they might bring them in and be like, hey, I need some extra help. Can you come and assist on this? Like, let's work through that together. But I've never had that where, as a DC, I've learned material before. I've always, again, very similar to the swing. If it's a girls section, I'm in the back giving it, where your dream girls, blah. Like, I'm giving it that in a back corner by myself. And then it's kind of just relying on, these are the numbers that I've got. This is what the choreo is. Obviously, you do it however many times a week. So if there's something that I need to know, let's go through it together. But yeah, you kind of just, again, learn it as you go. And I guess that's why it's so niche to be a dance captain, because it does take a specific kind of person to really lock
visualize
in.
it all as well.
Yeah, and then be able to maintain it from that point on.
And cut the show as well when there's like a cut show, because that stuff
doesn't happen for us.
No? Okay. Shall we leave it there?
Yeah.
Okay. So just on the back of that, of the talk and like of the ship, between that, like Moulin Rouge, Rock You, what would you say is like a touring essential? Now, it doesn't need to be like a glamorous thing, but something as so practical that maybe some people mightn't even think of that you need to bring on tour with you.
This is me pot calling kettle black because I don't have it, but a driving license.
Oh.
Please, 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 if you are touring, pass your driving test or get a friend that can drive.
Oh, yeah.
Rock You, I was really, really fortunate because it was, well, it wasn't fortunate that it was weekly touring. And Sunday was our only day off, and that was the travel day, so it was rough. But I think I only did like 2 venues on a train for Rock You, and then I got really, really close with the Wiggies on Rock You. Listen, one thing, and again, this is something that works for your podcast. I love the cast, but baby, I see you on stage 8 times a week. Make friends with people outside. Outside. Which I guess is another, you know, like necessity on tour, is like, you are working and living with the same people day in, day out. So I will always branch out into crew as and where I can. Like, I'm not going to force anything. If you're my vibe, you're my vibe. But yeah, on Rock You, I got really, really close with the Wiggies, and I used to travel with Rois quite a lot, but then Emily, the other Wiggy, was like, you never sit in my car. I'm like, because your car's small and my legs hurt. And also she was a terrible driver. But I did travel with her a couple of times. But we used to travel every Sunday in the car together, and then we would like get to, because we lived together in digs all the time as well. We would get to our digs, we would like order takeout and like watch a film. Something that Emily had probably never seen before because she'd never seen a lot of films. So like we went, gays and days don't shoot me, but we did used to watch Harry Potter every Sunday.
I've never seen, and I refuse now.
It was 2022.
That's...
Times were different. I just know I'm an ally. We don't watch it now. But we did used to watch Harry Potter every Sunday. I say every Sunday like it was like we repeated it. No, she'd never seen them before. So we started at 1 and finished, and then that was it. And then we moved on to other stuff. I think Pirates of the Caribbean a few times. But yes, absolute must-haves for tour, driving license and friends outside of the cast.
Stunning.
And a good pillow.
Oh yeah, because you're staying in other people's houses.
Yeah. A good pillow is also a necessity.
Yeah, sleep is
a lot of people have started bringing air fryers now.
Just plonking them around.
Yeah. Like, I know Cameron and Summer brought air fryers to Dublin. Um, I'm pretty sure someone might have bought an air fryer, like a mini air fryer from Aldi. Wow, because I'm in Switzerland right now, everyone.
Yeah. Probably should have said that.
Yeah, this is not my choice of artwork. But yeah, I'm pretty sure someone here brought a mini portable air fryer from Aldi as well. Because in our hotels we don't. So same in Dublin and here we didn't have ovens.
Right, yeah, yeah. So it is practical, I suppose. Yeah, how are you supposed to eat?
Microwave, woo!
Oh, that, yeah.
Or eat out. But which was easier in Dublin, but Switzerland is very, very expensive and you need a mortgage to buy a McDonald's. So
Oh,
yes. But yeah, a good pillow, driving license, or a friend that can drive, and what else did I say?
friends outside of the
Friends
cast.
outside of the cast.
Slay. While doing my background work, I came across a show that you were in called, oh, I really hope I get this right. I didn't do French in school. Trompe l'oeil. I didn't do French. I did Spanish at school.
Apply.
Thank you. I'd never heard of it, so obviously I went back like further into it. It seemed to be like quite a special thing, like reading the background and stuff on it. So I just want to know that, like, while you're rehearsing and preparing for the run, like, what was the most important thing that you wanted to like prepare or portray or like leave the audience kind of feeling, I suppose.
um, Actually, good question. So this show before I joined it had previously had a run at the Gatehouse. I didn't know anything about it. I just knew Trump was involved and it was a bit wacky. And I knew that there was a drag queen. In all honesty, I nearly didn't go to the audition. It was one of the, I was like, I just can't be bothered.
Yeah.
That's really bad. I'm sorry, everyone. But I was like, ugh, I'm losing money from work. Like, it's only a 6-week job. Like, I don't want to leave my job and then be unemployed after this job finishes. Like, anyways, my job were really lucky. They gave me all the time off. So
Oh,
I was able to
stunning.
go back to my job. Yeah, it was great. But we actually sat down on the first day, myself and Alex, who played Rip in the show, the director, and we spoke about what we think the characters are. And I made it very, very clear. So for those that don't know, the show is about a very liberal drag queen who meets a very Republican. Are they Republican? Is that MAGA?
Yeah.
Meets a very Republican man, and the concept is that this drag queen is supposed to be so androgynous that the guy doesn't realize it's a man in drag, and they fall in love, but they've got different political beliefs, yada 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 yada, all through song. And I had made it very, very clear that I did not want to portray this character as a trans woman.
Okay.
Because that was a question that was asked of me in that discussion was, do you think that Demi is trans? I said, for me, no, because that is not my story. I know we're acting, but I'm a very big believer of, minorities being able to tell their own stories regardless of acting or not. So I said, for me, I don't want to tell that story. I will approach it as a very androgynous human being. I am very much male identifying, slapping on some makeup and a wig and a breastplate and hoping for the best. But I did say, which they took it to America after we'd done, and I wasn't asked to go back. A lot of others were in that cast, but I think it's because they went down the pathway of that character being trans, which I had openly said as well to the writer of the show, Henry, who's absolutely lovely. I said, if you do decide to go down that journey pathway in the future, I'm very, very grateful for the time that I've had with this character, but I don't want to be involved
Yeah, of course.
because it's just not for me. So I think the biggest thing that I wanted to portray with that character was making sure that I blurred the lines enough that the writing still made sense, but that I kept it distanced enough from what was happening at the time. Because when was that? 2023? No? Yes, no. 2024. I don't know. Whenever I did it at the other palace, it was when, Rishi Sunak was prime minister and all. It was like the start of it, really. It was like the big brunt of all the political movement. And I think there's actually, like, I'm not sure if I still have it on my phone. I read out a statement because I had a reviewer come in, not me personally, but a reviewer came in to review the show and used a slur in his review. And there was a couple of others calling me a trans woman in the reviews as well. And I was like, hey guys, like, I just want to, clarify that this is not the tea. That's not what this is. And I was very much like representing at the time, but I wanted to make sure it was explicitly clear that I was a man in drag and not a trans woman. That was the biggest thing that I wanted to portray. And also just that, like, I think, God, it's been so long since I did it. I think the ending song is called Better Together. That's like the finale song. And it's like the whole idea of, there was an interview from the cast of Schitt's Creek, and I think it was actually Catherine O'Hara that said, the show doesn't push anything. It's just, this is what life could be like if we all just, and that was ultimately the vibe of the show. So I think I kind of just wanted to portray that as well. It's like, it doesn't really matter who you are, who you love, what you decide to wear. If
you're actually just nice to each other, the world could be so much nicer.
We're all humans living in this tiny little rock. So I think, again, that is something that I really wanted to portray, which is me down to a T. I can give you femme, I can give you, I can go out looking like chavvy chav chav one day, and next day I can be in a flares and a heel and a sparkly top. So yeah, I just wanted to remain true to myself, and it was also my first time being like a principal. So I kind of wanted to do myself justice as well. Which I did, because I got nominated for an award.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. And actually, yesterday, Veronica Green from UK Drag Race just got announced. They're doing the show again in Manchester. And Veronica Green has now taken over my part. So,
slay.
But I still got the award nomination, so.
Oh, actually, I did see that, because when I was looking up the show, like, to see what it was about, it was, buy tickets for Manchester.